Coach Daugherty is here. I'll let Coach do an opening statement, then we'll do some questions in the room, and then we'll open up for questions on the line. So, Coach Daugherty.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone, and it's a great day over here in Pullman. Beautiful day, and we've already practiced. We do early morning practices this semester. We're actually at 7 in the morning, and our team is working really hard. It's an exciting week, obviously a chance for us to improve, and we're really focusing on overall team improvement, both individually, per player, and as a team. We didn't feel like we played our best basketball in our last two games, and so we're trying to get back to what we do well on the defensive end of things first and foremost, and then offensively much better, a higher level of execution.
Coach, talk a little bit about last week's game. Utah, a strong second half to come back and get a win, and then Colorado kind of just late surge by the bus.
Yeah.
Too much for us.
Well, at both games, I thought defensively we played very, very well. We were able to do the things that we wanted to do defensively, except for late in the Utah game. I thought we gave up way too many second shots. In the Colorado game, way too many second shots, and it cost us the ball game. That helped with their 11-0 run late in the second half. But proud of our kids. I think that we're battling hard. I think we obviously went through the injury bug here, and we're a little banged up, losing Irtia Mojo 3 games ago. Now we are still trying to find that score and find the help that we need, especially offensively, the offense that she gave us. And I think that we're making the right steps and strides towards that, but we're not there yet.
Coach, now talk a little bit about this Washington game. Obviously, Cougs have heart a special thing, but basketball-wise, starts with Regina Rogers, and that's the focus point this week.
Well, with the Washington game, I mean, you really have to applaud their inside game. At one point this year, Rogers was leading the country in scoring at almost 80%. And they get a lot of help from other players, Oregon's, and some of the other frontline players. But their guards are playing very well, and they're a team that they too probably have been a little bit up and down like we have, but they're going to be hungry for a win. So will we be.
All right, questions on the line for Coach.
June, how do you go about defending Regina? Obviously, she's a little bit a different type of player physically for women's basketball.
Regina's obviously a very talented player. I think that a lot of times people get lost a little bit on talking about her and her numbers and her size. I think the thing that I've always known about Regina, I've seen her play since she was in 6th grade, is this is a very talented young lady who really has a very strong basketball IQ. She understands the angles of the game. She has very soft hands and soft feet, and that's a compliment when you're talking about a post player. I mean, she catches just about anything. She keeps it high, finishes it high. How do you defend that? That's always a good question. I think that's always something that everybody's asked themselves when you prepare for Washington. And I think the thing that we have to do is play defensively as strong as we have all year and count on our defensive system to get it done for us.
June, I think going back, I mean, obviously you perpetrated a lot of it, but I think that Washington State has lost to Washington 32 times in a row. I think as far as this year, in many ways, it's been very vastly different for Washington State basketball than it has been in the past. What would a win in breaking this kind of hex mean for not only for the club but for the fans as well?
Okay, so I'm sorry. Who am I talking to?
Troy from Lewiston Tribune.
Oh, okay, Troy. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. I'm sorry. We had a little bit of feedback problems on the phone, but it's the Apple Cup. It's always exciting in any sport when it comes to the Cougs and the school on the other side of the state. And the important thing for us is that we prepare ourselves to improve each week. And we want to play the same level of game that we play against Washington, that we play against Stanford, we play against Cal, everybody else that we play this year. And so I think it's important for us to continue to focus on the Cougs, continue to get better, and understand where their strengths are, where our strengths are, and exploit them, in best possibilities.
Any other questions on the line for Coach?
June Daugherty, from the spokesman.
There won't be any extra motivation for either your women or yourself in a game like this?
John, I'm sorry, we're having a little bit of problem. Can you repeat that?
Just giving your answer that you want to stay the same against Cal, Stanford, everyone you played this year. But even given that, there isn't a little extra level of motivation in a game like this.
Well, I think that anytime that you're into an in-state rival game, there's always a lot more attention. Notoriously, in the last 4 years, the crowds have been bigger at both at Heck Ed and in Beasley for the games. So obviously there's a lot more attention for the fans, and certainly there's a lot more on the line. The bragging rights of in-state, winning your in-state rival game is always real important. So certainly there's a lot more motivation that way. But it's important to distinguish the difference between motivation and going out there and playing your game. And sometimes I think that with especially the preseason that we played this year, John, we played 6 teams in the top 20 in the country, and I think 3 or 4 of them in the top 10, and you have to approach, it's the same approach that we use towards Ohio State, Penn State, Gonzaga, teams that are nationally ranked. You have to go out there and keep the focus on you and what you have to do as a program, and not make Penn State or Washington or any of these other games bigger than they are. And sometimes I think players get away from that, and they get caught up too much into making not keeping their focus on what we have to do to win ball games, and it's a bigger motivational game because it's an in-state rival. Obviously, it's a Pac-12 game. We want to get back on the winning track like we were the last 2 weeks, and I'm sure that they want to do the same.
June, this is Scott Johnson from the Everett Herald over on the other side of the state. Can you speak a little bit just to the turnaround? I know you've lost a couple games, but it seems like this has been a pretty big turnaround for the program. What kind of went into that? Is it just a matter of you being there for a few years and getting the right pieces, or why do you think this has been a little bit of a breakout year for the Cougars?
Well, it's good to hear from the other side of the state, first of all, especially Everett, with me living up in Mukilteo for a few years. But, we walked into this program with our eyes wide open. When I say we, I'm talking about myself, Mike, obviously the rest of my coaching staff. We knew that the program had not been to postseason since 1991, and we knew that the culture of women's basketball, nor the success of women's basketball, was anywhere where it needed to be. And, it's exciting to think that, our first year, I think our RPI was in the 300s or something, and now, it's in the top 40 in the country. And there's a lot of reasons why that has happened. And first and foremost, it's because the administration here at Washington State wanted a different direction in women's basketball. And that is one of the reasons why, we took this opportunity to come here and try to build a championship program. I think the other thing is that we have been able to attract some very talented individuals who are tough, that were tough enough to, if you will, weather the storm a while, like the April Cooks, the Jasmine Perkins, Rosie Tarnowski's. Those kids had to do, knowing that they were going to take some losses early in their career, but they had a chance to play right away and build this into a championship program. Those seniors want to leave a great legacy, and they want to leave it this year. Their mission is to put a banner up in Beasley. And, all those things are in place if we can continue to get better. But, fortunately for us, the community has supported us very, very well here. They've grown with us. They've gone through some of our growing pains, if you will. My assistant coaches have done a great job recruiting. And, our players have continued to recruit other good, talented teammates here and continue to improve. So there's a lot that goes into this. We're so fortunate that we have the administration that we have at Washington State, with Dr. Floyd and Bill Moose in particular, that they allow us to challenge ourselves to play the schedules that we're playing right now, and allow us to travel pretty much anywhere in the country and the world to recruit and to play. And all these things are important ingredients as you try to build a program. And because of some of those things and a lot of hard work, both with the administration, the coaches, and most importantly the players, this program is headed in the right direction.
It doesn't seem like the best recipe for success to schedule the Ohio States and all those. Kind of talk about the philosophy of beefing up the non-conference schedule and how it maybe has led into your success now that Pac-12 play started.
Well, it depends on who you are and what you're about. And we have a championship mentality here at Washington State, and we believe that we can be the best. And to do that, we don't believe in scheduling, a lot of just easy, I don't know, cupcake wins, whatever the expression is this day. We believe that you have to go out, you have to experience different levels of basketball. You have to get into Madison, Wisconsin, and play in front of 7,000 or 8,000 people. You got to get in front of Ohio State, play in front of their big crowds, Penn State, to really understand what it's like to not only play at that level, but play in very hostile environments. And all those things were very, very good for us in our preseason. And I think at the beginning of the year, our spring training and all that, our players understood that we were going to take this on and with eyes wide open, and we were going to go after them and find out what we're about. And if you talk to them now, they are really thankful for their preseason. They really appreciated the opportunity to experience basketball and at this high level, and they understand a difference now. And that has obviously helped us as we've entered the Pac-12 season with a couple wins on the road, and especially double overtimes. We've played in front of some crowds now, and obviously there's some very good teams in the Pac-12 this year.
Any more questions on the line for Coach? All right, Patrick.
All right. So what are you having the team do this week to prepare offensively and defensively in practice?
Yeah, it's important that the defense doesn't give up the easy baskets that we gave up late in the runs. I thought in both Utah and Colorado there were times that we didn't finish the plays defensively, and that could be taking a charge. That could be boxing out and keeping people off the glass. That's really big for us. Offensively, I feel like that we're impatient at times, and we're not using our screen opportunities to get easier looks, and we have to continue to have results when we go inside out. And the results have to be across the board. The entire front line has to be able to produce, whether it's a rebound, a stop, a charge defensively, or obviously getting on the glass and getting us running. So we really feel like our execution offensively is off a little bit, and we're really working hard to shore that up and kind of get our timing back. It seems like our timing is off offensively a little bit. Our spacing is pretty good, our cutting's pretty good, but we're not waiting and using our screens the way I'd like to see us do.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely, have you seen improvement though through the post preseason to now?
Oh yeah, I mean it's night and day difference, and those first 7 on the road, it's tough because you guys didn't get to see us play, but there was some really good play in those games, and there were some times when you were like, really, what's going on out there? But those really and what's going on out there are getting smaller and smaller, in the 40 minutes of the game.
Excellent. What do you expect from UW this weekend?
Well, they too, are coming off a loss. They certainly had a chance to win it in regulation, and at 32-all, I think was the score. And watching it on tape, they got beat by an unbelievable shot to go to overtime, and then a violation. We obviously went through some adversity in the last game, and with the decision by the official to count a basket, with the shot clock being out, and you just have to live with that. But it's tough to live with that. So I know for us, we're not happy about having a loss. We wanted to be 4-0 at this point, but then being happy, being sad doesn't matter. What does matter now is just focus on an improvement, and each player knows what she's supposed to be working on, and the team knows what they're supposed to be working on, and we are just excited to be in the gym and have a chance to be at home and really work on getting better.
Do you feel being in Beasley will help in playing against the Huskies?
It's great to play in Beasley, and the new scoreboard, and what great timing. The students are all back. I mean, everywhere we've been on campus, this week, and we were just over at Wazoo Wednesdays, and People are fired up about the game. They're fired about the progression of the team. They're fired up to see our team. Everybody went away for Christmas break, but us, us at men's basketball. So they're excited to see us play. And but playing in Beasley, it doesn't get much better than that, especially when it's packed.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Coach.
Mm-hmm.